Okay, let me make this clear. Nobody told you that healing was going to be easy. You need to understand this very quick. You cannot just skip your healing process. You cannot go from point A to Z overnight. You're going to have moments where you feel like you're going to have moments where you cry yourself to sleep. You're going to have moments where you're crying tears into your pillow. But once you understand that that's normal, that's called heartbreak. That's called grieving. That's called letting go. You can actually move forward. Like, you can't keep harboring this shit either. That's something else. Nigga, queen. Stop harboring things. Let things go. Some things don't deserve you overly investing energy into the shit. Some things need you to be like, okay, it happened. Understood. I'll be a damn fool to let it happen again. But I'm not going to sit here and let it, ruin my life or, my life over. Sometimes you just got to let shit go in the same breath that you took it in. Whether it's a job, whether it's a person, whether it's a thing, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's not serving you, learn how to let that go. Also, don't be afraid to try new fucking things. There's nothing stopping you from getting out of your shell and going after. Why did it feel like there was somebody walking on this bridge? I think there's a ghost here. Now look, y'all might say I'm crazy. Oh, this getting off track and all this other type of shit. I believe in spirituality. I believe in spirits. I believe that there's things walking around this that we can't see that could be right in front of us. When I look, you guys may think I'm cuckoo. Don't judge me. I swear to God, I've done seen spirits' faces. I've done seen spiritual attacks. Like, have y'all ever been under spiritual attack and then saw the spirit that was attacking you? It get like that. It get deep up in these trenches. I'm sorry, but don't be afraid to try new things. Like for real, for real. Sometimes we'll block ourselves because we'll be in our comfort zone. We'll be like, nah, I ain't ready for this, or nah, it's gonna be too hard. I don't want to fail. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to get told no, and we'll just stop ourselves from doing the exact shit in our life that we know we actually want to do. And that energy within itself is a blessing blocker times 10. It ruins in your life because you're so fixated on the negative outcomes and situations that you don't actually give yourself enough time to be in the situation and figure it out. Like, once you start realizing there's a lot of shit in your life that you can simply just figure the out. And you may not want to hear that, but it's like certain things, it may take time, it may take a little bit of effort, but you can literally just figure it out. But you want to know how you figure certain shit out? By sticking to it, by doing new shit, by trying new routes, by, expanding your perspective and the ways that you view your situation and the ways that you're going about it. And this is another thing too. And this is kind of off tangent, but I believe if you stay in a big city, like, man, I'm in Los Angeles. You see how beautiful this is? Like, my boy, this shit is amazing, right? When you're around other people who have stepped out of their box and forced their comfort zones, it's easier for you to get out your comfort zone. That's why they say, it's the saying, the 5 most people that you hang around, you're going to become like them. If you hang around 5 brokies, don't be surprised when your pockets run flat, dry, and empty. If you hang around 5 high energy, you feel me, go-getters, ambitious, whatever the case may be, don't be surprised when you turn into the next little marathon runner up in here. You feel me? Because it's just off of proximity. If you're around toxic ass people, toxic ass energy, don't be surprised when your life starts playing out in a way that isn't proactive and beneficial to what the you're asking for. And that's also why I be telling y'all, keep a small circle, right? And it's not even because you might think you're better than anybody, you're better than some shit or anything like that, but it's like, no, peace of mind is a real thing. And sometimes it's best off keeping a small circle because sometimes you just may not have the energy to give to certain people. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody comes with a cost. Now, everybody is, of course, they pour back into you. I would hope you talk to people and you surround yourself with people who pour back into you. But the end all be all, everybody comes with a cost in this life. So if you aren't at a place in your life where you're willing to actually come out of pocket with that, you got to put boundaries up. Or you got to surround yourself with people who, if you did lower that boundary, they would not max your credit card out. You see, I think a lot of you guys are in relationships and around people who, if you were to let your boundaries down and you were to actually give yourself grace and just surrender to the situation, they would max your credit card out. They would take all your money and leave you broke. And that's why you're scared of letting go. That's why you're scared of, truly being vulnerable with some people and going out your way and, experiencing certain things, because the moment you be vulnerable around these, they gonna take advantage of it, because they've already did that in smaller areas of your life. You feel me? There's been times where you've been like incy bincy, kind of vulnerable, and they were already scavenging off your crumbs. So you embed that. You feel me? You remember that type of shit, and you're like, nah, never again. I'll never show you that type of side of me again. But I believe even that within itself, shunning yourself from the world is not a good trait. You shun yourself from that, or you shun yourself from that type of individual, but you do not shun yourself from life. Oh my God, I have been on my tripod. But you don't shun yourself from life. You don't shun yourself from good people. I be getting into phone calls, and my camera's gonna die, but I be getting into phone calls with people where they just be like, man, everybody, all these. They be like, man, I'm done with everything. But I'm like, no, you cannot get into that headspace, because there's 8 billion people on this planet. You would be a fool to think you can't find at least one like-minded individual that you can be like, you know what, I could rock this out. You feel me? You would be a fool to think that out of all the things that humans have invented and tried out and, you feel me, did all this crazy different shit, you would be a fool to think there isn't one hobby, one thing that you like to do that really lights you up and that really just ignites you. But you gotta be willing to go find that shit. And then when you find it, like I be talking about in my other videos, sit with it, learn it, and then learn how to actually live with it. In order for certain things to become a lifestyle, you have to intentionally allow it to become a habit and a routine in your life, to where you feel all of the emotions and the ups and downs of having that be a discipline or a routine in your life. I hope that all of this is making sense, because I know I like jump in between different things and all this other type of stuff, but the core root of all of it is love your life. And in order for you to do that, you gotta let go of the bullshit and then get around the good shit. And by you just simply being around better shit and then being around good shit, I promise you, the ways that your life is going to manifest and the ways that your life is going to play out is going to be a direct representation of that shit. I'm telling you, you gotta love yourself. You gotta put yourself first, because if you don't, nobody's going to put you first. Because sadly, in this society, people aren't putting their own goddamn self first. You want to know what they put in first in most situations? That dollar bill. Love yourself, queen, king. I'm gonna catch you on the next video, man. This camera died. Oh.